Hey, folks, it's American Loser. We got a special treat for you here today. My name's KP Burke. This is my DILF of a dad, Larry. Say hello.
Hey, how are we doing here?
We have another DILF of a dad as a guest on the show right now. I know his two cute little boys, a great friend of mine and a great comic. One of my, honestly, just a guy that we were doing cigars all summer together. Man, we had a good bonding session during this pandemic here. But Michael Lewis Celona joins the show here, guy. How are you, buddy?
Hey, I'm good. Like literally as soon as you were like, all right, we're good to go, I'm on camera with you guys. My wife is like, God damn it, Joseph, he just spilled a gallon of milk in the kitchen. So right now, my 4-year-old and my wife are mopping up a gallon of milk in our kitchen. And I'm living the dream over here. How are you guys?
I'm waiting to see the milk start to drip down on you from upstairs.
If we just have to pretend to be talking all night so I could just stay in here and not deal with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
until we see the string mop slap you in the face, right?
That's when you know, too, because that's when I feel like, oh, your son just spilt something. You're like, oh, finally, now he is my kid. Right. Good to know. That's
Daddy's on a podcast, guys. Come on.
Daddy's working.
Actually, Daddy is working, all right? I got some good info here. I'm very excited for this, buddy. You've done it once before. You've done it again today. As of right now, the #1 comedy album on iTunes belongs to this man, Mike Celona.
No
we
way.
did it.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Like made it. It's best case scenario because I'm actually Italian and Hispanic, so I got a lot of cousins. It's all family that bought it.
That's the
family.
part.
They had to buy their own Christmas present? Is that the deal?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Is it going to cost me the next couple of years doing quinceañeras? Yes, definitely. But no, we were lucky enough to get #1. And this time I did it solo. I released it without a label or any backing. So that was a personal victory. Probably the proudest I've been in comedy to be a lone wolf. And, you know, it's lonely, but for 1 minute I feel good about it. And then it's back to why am I not getting booked anywhere?
You're #1, so it's lonely at the top. But there you go, man. Congratulations.
Well, that's what me and Michael Jordan say. So thank you. But wait, KP was just talking about how there's nothing worse than middle-aged men wearing Ninja Turtle shirts. Remember that?
It's amusing. And by the way, we have in the studio here, Ming has a cheese shredder, like a grater, with Shredder's head on it. So it's a shredder. But so that's pretty.
I saw it on Instagram. You got to follow American Loser on Instagram. You guys post funny stuff and the music's killer.
I do. Yeah, I spend a lot of time on the music. Let's see if you can even see. Can you see it in the camera?
You should
here?
really Spotify list or something.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea. Real quick, Mike. So Kahuna's trying to show you the shredder. So now it's in the camera, so you can see it. I wanted to ask you this real quickly, dude. So you got that. You and me have done some sketches together. We've worked together a bunch. We've been on shows together a lot. You were a guest on this very podcast for the Black Bart episode, which is for me, that's like laughs per minute. That's one of the best ones we have because I enjoy the chaos that you bring in here. But real quick, you want to plug the album, plug the projects, man. Anything. We do have listeners that are going to be checking this out, and then we'll dive into this wild story I want to tell you the cliff notes of to get your response to.
Awesome. So it's called the Do Not Call List, Volume 1. And what's cool about it is it started in COVID because you're trapped home. KP, we're not performing. I mean, I've seen you perform. You're lucky enough you're still performing at least a couple of times a month.
Yeah, I'm like a reservist, one weekend a month.
So I literally haven't really. I performed a handful of times, but like, as you know, you gotta bring home some paper. I'm getting like killed over here. These kids, we got to keep pouring milk on the floor. Supposedly,
that's right. Got to have milk to be able to pour it on the floor.
Yeah. So, yeah, you would think I should be able to give them some drink tickets. Give them some milk. But no, I started doing prank phone calls, and like you and your dad. Like do like fun history lessons. You guys walk to like Valley Forge and look, civil rights reenactments and stuff. Me and my dad, Civil War, whatever.
The civil rights one's great because it's just us sicking a dog on Kahuna. I love you, Mike. Keep going.
As you can tell, I don't know anything about history.
My actually crying. Holy shit.
He has that effect on people.
Yeah, but Lincoln was a good president. Anyway, me and my dad
he's on the plus column.
connected doing prank phone calls. So I don't know if it's good parenting, bad parenting, but it was fun. And ever since I was a little kid, we would record it and we would just prank call, teachers, people's moms, companies. And so this was that felt so second nature to me, and it was just fun. Literally, I think I only recorded the entire album in 2 batches. Like I said to my wife, I was like, I'm going to go in the basement and record some prank calls. I came up an hour late, like a dozen. And then I did that like 2 or 3 more times. And then I just had to cut it down to the best ones. So it was awesome. And
That's
if you
the entire
look,
album, right? The entire album is all prank phone calls.
yeah, the entire album. It's like Jerky Boys. It's like the Prank Yankers. It's just old school pranks. So, a lot of it was telemarketers would call me and I would just get annoyed. Like, it's COVID. I'm out of work. I'm like trying to figure something out. And people are like, do you need money for your business? I'm like, oh my God. So depending on how I felt that day is how I would like go at them. So if I was in a good mood, I would sing to them and sometimes they would sing back. Like it was genuinely sweet to get connections with people, because as like COVID, you're literally just seeing the people in your family and you're like, oh my God, like it gets stressful. I mean, you guys seem like you are good friends. You have a podcast together, and Larry seems like he can pour himself. Larry seems like he can pour himself milk without spilling it and ruining everything.
So real quick, I just want to tell people at home too. So the album, this one is all prank phone calls, but you also have another album out of your stand-up, and then that's also released as a special on Amazon that you did, which is what was it, Calzone Farm. There you go. So if you guys want to check him out, you can watch him on Amazon Prime.
As you can tell, I'm husky and I'm Italian and I like calzones. So I got a special called Calzone Farm. A lot of the special is about bringing my family to an apple farm and getting accused of stealing apples. So, it happens to all of us.
Yeah. They pat you down before you're leaving, right?
In addition, I wanted to say this too. So we talked earlier. You were texting me as we were getting ready to do this here, Mike. So I'm going to set you up for success now. I know you have something you want to show. So for those who don't know, my father is a retired shop teacher who had his own business for many years, still does technically, called BTL. It's remodeling. And so I kind of grew up on a job site. I'm not very handy, but I look like I know what I'm doing. Right?
He's a good gopher.
Exactly. It was, it was pretty much it. But Mike, you actually, if I took shop. One thing I made in my shop class was a giant penis. I made that, and we said it was a giant pencil holder so that I could get away with it. But I did make a giant wooden penis that I did get caught in a bandsaw, and you've never seen sparks shoot out quite like that. But you wanted to receive a grade on something, so we're going to ask old Larry Burke to dust off his grade book.
Okay, here we go.
Mike Celona, take it away from here. What do you have to show us, sir?
Okay, so it might have been like the late 90s, actually, like 99, 2000, back when, you could smoke cigarettes in school and it was fine. So obviously I brought a cigar box that was perfectly fine to make. You were allowed to make a cigar box. I was like 15, still waiting to go through puberty. But look at this nice inlay, Larry.
Ooh.
These are all tickets and stuff from concerts. I should have thought of this before. God, oh boy. Let me spill it like the milk. All right. Hang on, I'm dumping it out now.
You're always making a mess, Michael. You're always making a mess.
It better not affect my grade.
Oh, felt lined. Very
Larry,
nice. Yeah.
I got the felt inlay.
There you go.
Now this is a nice, I think this is mahogany or oak or a nice birch.
Okay.
Not birch. And then I got the metallic, it broke over time, but it used to work. Anyway. I got the stickers from an emo band, and I wrote on it, "Emotion is dead." So in typical fashion, I made my own cigar box, so I'm manly, but then I wrote in some female lyrics because I'm an emo girl.
Okay.
So
now you see,
but
go ahead.
Look at that inlay.
Yeah.
I mean, Larry,
Felt.
look at that inlay.
Nice.
Felt.
Very nice. Single
Felt.
nap, no doubt. Hey, very nice.
Oh,
And it's
yeah,
good that you called it a cigar
all
box,
over.
because if you called that a jewelry box, it would put a whole different connotation on it. Right?
We would have had to kick you off.
Well, it actually was a jewelry bag.
My favorite.
No,
was the kid who used
actually,
to make,
I've never kept a cigar in it though. I just all the concerts I ever went to growing up, like I have like wristbands and stuff. You know, I saw Britney Spears 2 years ago.
A keepsake box. Very
a
nice.
keepsake box.
Keepsake. Oh.
Now there was something
Precious.
in particular I want to mention too, because and again, check out Mike's got the great album out there. Mike, you're one of my great buddies, dude. I'm excited to have you on the show. We do got to sneak in a little bit of history on this one just to justify the show here. So we're gonna do ooh, look at that. There,
Those are
Brass.
good hinges there.
Brass.
Those are the
attention
best
to
hinges.
detail.
Brass butt hinge. Very nice.
You said when you were saying what type of wood that might be, you said oak, and Kahuna for sure heard it. That you said it in a very particular accent, oak. That yeah, where are you from, Mike? That if people would identify that specific accent on the East Coast.
I'm from the shitstorm called Pennsylvania. KP. Like we discussed this week, it's a lot like Florida. One block is okay, and the other block is scary. You never know what you're gonna get.
That's my favorite part of Jacksonville. Is you can go from mobile homes to McMansions, back to mobile homes, then into the inner city. I mean, you can pretty much just jump around. It can be Trailer Park Boys or The Wire, depending on which direction you go.
Yeah.
So it gets a little
Hoagies.
interesting there. Hoagies, hanging out on the stoop with your friends, you know, going to Wawa every year.
Dude, you like murder ice and the birds? I like Eagles.
Oh man, I'm a fan of PA though. I dig it over there. Now,
Oh, yeah.
real quickly, this family
Not a
that
big.
this family we're going to talk about real quick though, they're originally from Pennsylvania. Have you ever heard of? Well, we're going to give it away a little bit here. The Kelly family killers. Have you heard of them?
Dude, everyone in Pennsylvania is related. That's what's hard. Everyone has these long, like, Polish names.
Right. You got to be
It's
careful.
like, hey, I'm Pat Pierogi, and this is my cousin Steve Pierogi. So it's hard to like. Everyone has it's like the last things. It's like itkies and outskis and crap.
Well, it's that's definitely for the Polish thing here. So this is just a nice Irish family, right? The Kelly family killers. That's the name of this this crew, and it's very interesting to me because some people say that a family that slays together stays together. That's the running joke about these people. It's a nice story about a family that moves from Pennsylvania out to the good old heartland in the Kansas area of the United States. You know, a very traditional family. This is the 1800s here. They tried their luck in a couple of places. They left Pennsylvania, right? You came to New Jersey from Pennsylvania to pursue the comedy career. Also, I know what you do for your other career, and you got to be living near New York City for that shit. But there's
Stripper.
Yeah.
I build cigar boxes for a living, guys.
It's well, this family's interesting too. I'm going to throw this one out. I'm just going to set the plate for you here, and we won't keep you too much longer here, Mike. But I do want to throw this one at you. The Kelly family, they decided they're going to start a tavern. That's the dream, right? It's like a family-owned business, you know, kind of like Cheers almost, I guess.
Bed and breakfast with alcohol.
Yeah, good gimmick here. So the father's name is William. The mother's name is Kate because they're Irish. You know, I went down the list the other day. I've dated too many Kates. I think there's at least a half dozen Kates that I've dated over the course of my life. It's nuts. But they have a traditional family here, right? So husband and a wife. So you got your mom and your dad, and they have two kids. They have a boy and a girl. The boy is named Billy, and the girl went by Kit. Okay, and they're living out in a section of no man's land near the panhandle of Oklahoma. And that's
they work for the Foundation of Law and Government.
Well, they got this very interesting thing going on here where they have this tavern, but guess what keeps happening in the area? People keep disappearing.
Uh-oh.
Yep. So apparently this is what would happen. So you do road gigs. We've stayed in some sketchy places before. Now, I don't really have a whole lot of fear about a lot of that because I don't have anything for anyone to steal from me.
Quick question.
Hit me, brother.
Did they do live comedy? Did they have a booker? Is there a booker I could send a Veils out. If we're just okay. All right.
Here's what would happen to you, though, unfortunately, Mike, if you were to stay at the Kelly Family Tavern and to try. If let's say they're doing live comedy, right, and Governor Murphy would allow it, you know, as long as there's social distance in place. But you go to stay with the Kelly family at their tavern, and you sit down, and the mom is in the kitchen, and she's making food or something like that, right? So she's sitting there trying to cook something up for you. You're sitting down in a nice, comfy chair. There's one particular chair in the house that the guest always gets to
guest
sit
of
in.
honor, right?
Oh, yeah.
The place of honor at the table.
Headliners only, baby, all right? And they would sit you down there, and then typically it would be Kit, the 18-year-old daughter. So, you're a businessman, you're coming, and she's going to come up to you and start talking to you. She's like, oh, you're a stand-up comedian, Mike. Tell me about that. Who do you know that's famous, what's Andrew Schultz like, And so they're going to ask all these questions of you. And you're going to sit there, you're going to tell them the truth. You're Mike Celona. You're like, well, listen, I currently have the #1 album on iTunes. It's a prank phone call thing. I have a special that I put out over on Amazon. So you can check me out there.
I just took pictures of Joe Fernandez's corgi. Pretty big things in comedy. So
as you're telling them that, I picture it too, because you crack me the fuck up with this stuff. So it's I just picture you putting your arms back, just relaxing a little bit. You're telling this girl, she's blown away. She's like, oh my God, that's so amazing, Mike. That's so cool that you're able to do that. So Mike, you're probably worth a lot of money then, right? And they're assuming that you're going to have money because you have all this success. They don't understand that comedy is just an evil form of the entertainment business. But and then once they find out that you have the money, guess what all of a sudden happens? A signal gets exchanged between Kit and whoever else is talking, and maybe somebody else in the room, and they hit a switch, and all of a sudden your chair falls backwards, and you go down the trap hole in the floor.
Wait a minute. I'm getting very particular flashbacks of an episode that we did.
Keep going.
Oh,
You guys
shoot.
killed someone?
Yeah, it's got a lot with the Hotel California. You check in, but you never check out. You just check out completely checked out.
Indeed. So now they find out that you, Mike Celona, have, you're a successful comic. Once they've determined you're wealthy, then they're going to trap you, right? So usually the fall would kill the people, right? Because you'd fall right into the cellar. And this trap door goes, and you go in. You're thinking of H.H. Holmes, the serial killer out in Chicago. These guys, a little bit more, at least it's a family this time, right?
Right. It's a family affair.
Dad, what would happen? So let's say Mike Celona, unfortunately, does not die during the fall. Okay? And let's say that he lives through the fall here. Now this trap door has been launched.
It's an Austin Powers situation.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm very badly hurt.
I think my legs are broken.
It smells like almonds.
You need to send sofrito. I'm hungry down here.
So Mike is now trapped in the cellar, Dad. What's the good old Kelly family going to do to make him feel more at home?
They're going to help him out by a couple of whacks in the head to finish him off. If the fall doesn't kill you, we'll give you a couple raps in the head with an axe to put you out of your misery. You won't feel any pain in a few moments because we're just going to kill you.
So you're nervous about album reviews right now. The guests at the Kelly Tavern were disappearing. Actually, I believe it was 8 or 9 people were just disappearing. And then a guy who had stayed there a couple of times and was not murdered, he winds up going back there. And they're trying to figure out, hey, what happened? This family that used to be here that I used to stay with at this tavern, they've disappeared. What's going on out here? The family just up and left town. They didn't tell anybody. And he goes into the house, and there's this smell coming from the basement. And he goes down there and finds 3 dead bodies. Okay? Then they're kicking around some dirt over there. They find buried bodies. There's a skull that's smashed. They killed, I believe it's 2 women and I think 8 men got killed. They identify them by going through the materials that they had on them, because back in the day, you get like a nice jacket or something, you have your initials sewn into it, so that you know that it's like your stuff.
Right.
And
plus, if you're a rich guy, you're going to be dressing well, so they could identify by the clothing who this person was. Oh yeah, I remember that guy. He came through here about 6 months ago. We haven't seen him since. Well, yeah. Now we know where he ended up.
So now, Mike, imagine this. Now you're checking into the place. You find these dead bodies all around, right? What's the first thing you're doing?
Getting the hell out of there. What are you talking about?
Exactly. So that's what this dude does.
It's not even a question. What are you talking about?
This guy hightails it the hell out of there, runs into the nearby town, and they form a posse. And the posse comes back, and they are going through. They find all the dead bodies. Then they find an axe that's out back in the barn. And these guys were not trying to hide this shit at all. There's rotting flesh in the basement, right? House is empty. They took off. They got the hell out of Dodge. And they go into the back, and they see the axe literally has human hair, blood, and flesh on the blade end of it. Okay? Very obvious that they were murdering these motherfuckers. And the posse then takes off to go after them. So now this nuclear family of 4, just picture like the evil Simpsons or something. and they're sitting there. They're trying to get the hell out. They want to start their life over. You figure that they've robbed all the people that came through the tavern,
Right.
all the bodies that are there. They've got all their money, and now they're going to try to get out of Dodge. But there's this posse coming in for them. All right. First of all, would you join the posse to go after these people, or are you just like, yeah, fuck it, I'll wait till you guys get back?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. First off, leaving hair and stuff on the axe, I mean, that's a health code violation.
That's right.
Yeah, give a bad Airbnb review for Kelly Tavern.
Yeah, they're running it in. Come on, at least wash it. What's that movie, Hateful Eight?
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that. Like you sit in the chair, and then they had the blanket on it.
Yeah, to hide the blood. There's a trap door in that one too. That not to ruin it for anybody, but a very famous actor pops out of.
I don't understand what. This never happens with Italians. Like we invite you over, and when you're here, you're family. You know, it's not like I don't.
Well,
everyone
also, Italians, when they murder people, there's no body to find. That's the other thing. People, he just
Bada
disappeared.
bing, bada boom.
Right. Got to go down to the Jersey Pinelands someplace and be able to find that body.
Poor Joe
Yeah,
Pesci.
he was a shop teacher. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this posse now goes after these people in order to catch it. As soon as they realize that they're going to get caught up with, this is the fate of the Kelly family here.
Well, maybe. Wait a minute. Maybe it was a drop the axe, take the cannoli kind of a thing. You know,
Ooh,
that,
yeah.
You know,
Take the cannolis with you, leave the axe behind. See?
maybe that's why it was still bloody.
Well,
I got an axe too. Like that's so many different generations. Like I mean, you know, you had like Vikings that used axes. We still use axes today. It's so visceral because it's not like one and done. You really got to put some work into that. Oh God.
That's right. Work up a sweat killing that guy.
Yeah, well, it's cardio and weight training too. So a lot of people like to do that. It's
Yeah, but if you ever chop wood, it's hard.
I enjoy chopping wood sometimes. It's a nice, relaxing thing. And then you can sit there and you pretend it's the head of someone that you don't like. The Kelly family actually was using the heads of people though. So now this posse comes raining in on them. All right, and the posse's in. They're going after him now. They realize the jig's up. We've been captured, if you will. And in this 2-hour chase on horseback, which is what a boring thing that must have been, where you're just riding a horse for 2 hours.
Wearing out the horses.
Good old Mama Kelly, she actually falls off of her horse and breaks her neck and dies instantly. Okay.
Women drivers.
I told you he's a very fun guest. So,
even back then, the husband's like, "Oh my God, really?"
Yeah.
This is who I want to replace me if I ever leave.
Well, we wanted to have him in the studio here too, but we also want him to live long enough to come back into the studio.
That's very fair.
But we can't be killing our most successful guest. He's #1 on iTunes. God damn it! So, that leaves
For
now
today.
the two kids, right? So the two kids, they're spilling gallons of milk left and right in this chase, and then Papa Kelly, right? So the two kids then get caught, and they're sitting there, and they go. The daughter's like, "Oh my God, what do you mean? I had nothing to do with the murders." And the brother's just like, "Shut up, will you? All right, we murdered these people. That's fine."
How old are they at this point? The kids.
18 and 20. The girl is 18. The brother is 20. So
Okay,
and they,
I remember being that age. Ugh.
Oh yeah, it's how you fight with your siblings and stuff like that too. So. Meanwhile, my sister actually murders people, so that's my fear that I have.
Your little sister is still bitching and moaning.
Mom, he won't let me chop that guy's head off. Share with your sister, honey.
It was my turn.
Yeah,
Shut up! I'm live tweeting.
So they go ahead and they get these people now, and it winds up turning into a thing. And the girl goes, "Should we tell them everything that we did?" And then the brother goes, "No, let them find out for themselves." So it's like, well, shit.
Yeah.
How many more bodies are there? What's been going on over here? So, Frontier Justice at the time, the cowboys that the posse that went ahead and got them, they say, "Hey, all right, Kit and Billy, we know for a fact that you guys were murdering the guests at your tavern. So you see that tree over there? We're going to hang you from it." And they literally leave the bodies hanging. They hang both of them and then ride off to go after Papa Kelly, who, by the way, Papa Kelly, what a great guy he must have been.
Yeah.
Because his wife falls off a horse and breaks her neck, and he just keeps going. Now his kids are literally being stopped and hung by a posse, and Papa Kelly is nowhere to be
He's
found.
still taking off.
Yep, he's not trying to check back in. He's not maybe firing a gun at him or doing anything. He's like, let me get the hell out of here.
He's in Santo Domingo by now.
He is riding off on a lame horse. I shit you not. Okay, and because it's a lame horse, that had a different way of kind of trodden, if you will. they're able to track that because it's leaving different hoof prints. So now Papa Kelly gets caught, and there's a little gunfight back and forth. He winds up surrendering, and he goes, "Oh, we had to get out of there because there were the dead bodies. My family had nothing to do with it, but we knew we were going to get blamed because we were always moving around, and it had nothing to do with that. I'm an innocent man. You guys my wife's dead now. You guys just killed my kids. I had nothing to do with this." And the posse goes, "Listen, dude, you're going to die. Would you, if you were captured that way, Mike, would you just admit everything right out front, or would you still try to put a little spin move on it? Because when I get caught, like if the cops pull me over, like, you know how fast you were going, I was going 15 over. I apologize. Like, I'm too honest that way. So this guy tried to cover it up. Would you try to cover it up a little bit, or would you just be like, yeah, give me some credit for my work, goddammit?
Dude, I literally cheated every year in high school and got caught, and I would just go down and be like, I didn't. I swear, I didn't.
Deny.
I'm that dirtbag that's like, I swear on my family, I would never. And then they're like, well, he swore on his family. And then I'm like, you dumb mother. I was the baby of the family. You lie. You just whatever. Yeah, I didn't touch it.
I didn't know that. That makes sense. That fits now for that motif there. Even our cousins would say that too, where it was my cousin Megan, who's hilarious. She was saying that she's pointing to her youngest son. She goes, and this kid gets away with murder because, you know what, Kevin? I'm just fucking tired. Okay? I'm tired. I have 4 kids. The last one raised himself. But
yeah, they're spilling milk.
Well, now Papa Kelly is still sitting there, and he's trying to say, I had nothing to do with this. You guys are going to... So then they start hanging him, right? They leave him up there hanging, just dangling by his neck for a couple of minutes, and they drop him down. They say, anything you want to say now? Like a disappointed dad kind of a thing.
Yeah,
he goes, we are Penn State. They're Pennsylvanian, man.
That's true.
Dude, they live and die by Penn State. He's like, Joe Pa didn't know about it. Don't take away our wins.
Nittany Lions, baby. Saquon Barkley. So,
Wawa Hoagie Fest.
Any last words? Wawa's fucking rules, man.
Sheets suck.
So they bring him, they drop him down, and they say, all right, anything you want to confess to now? And all of a sudden he just goes, okay, so my family and me have been murdering people at our tavern. We've killed about 10 or 11 people. To be honest, I just lost track. If they were wealthy, we robbed them after we murdered them, okay? And we were doing this for a couple of years now, and yes, you caught us, and I guess I sort of kind of feel bad about it. And they say, all right, now you've made your peace about it. You've come honest.
Right. Now that you've confessed.
Now that you've confessed.
And you let me go? Oh, no, you're still going to have
yeah. They string up Papa Kelly right there, and his body is left hanging up there in the trees. And the posse then returns to town. So Mama Kelly snaps her neck. She dies in the first leg of the chase, if you will. Then the kids live long enough to get hung together, finally, one last time, where it's, different form of the kids' table, if you will. And then,
oh my God, KP!
All my brothers and sisters with me.
Oh man, I love it when this show gets really, really dark.
Then Papa Kelly is now hanging in a tree as well. So the Kelly family is gone, and they become legends, if you will, urban legends, where it's like anytime you stay at a tavern now in that area, like, oh shit, am I staying at? Are these people going to murder me? You're looking underneath the floor to make sure there's no trap doors for you to be falling into. And again, definitely a bad Airbnb review. Pretty much, Craigslist personals and whatnot going on. There's some chaos, but
you were worried about bed bugs at Motel 6. We got one that takes a couple degrees higher than that.
And this is why I stay strapped at all times, guys. I carry a gun with me everywhere I go. But nah, man.
In honor of them, I carry an axe.
That's
there you go.
But that is the Kelly family. They were a notorious family of serial killers. So we wanted to bring you on for this one, too, because I know you got a big family, and it's around the holidays. You're going to be spending, maybe some socially distant, but you are going to see some people for, as crazy and as annoying as people always say their families are, and as nice of a family as you have, because you have a great family. Your wife's a great lady. Your kids are hysterical. In a couple years...
Yeah, if we put our minds to it, we could kill a lot of people, me and my family. We're hard workers.
Yeah. And the best part, too, for you could just be killing the stand-up comedians, the open mic kids that come by and want to get, is this where I can get headshots done? They're like, yeah, step into the basement. Okay, now, real quick, just put your neck out like this. Yeah, no, stick your neck out and then just boom. Yep.
You guys haven't seen Lucidi in a couple years, huh?
Oh, Oh, poor Adam Lucidi. That's one of the great stand-up comics of New Jersey who has moved out and has started a new life under an assumed name so that he can work in a field that maybe you're familiar with, Dad. Education.
Oh, the names have been changed to protect the guilty.
Yeah, that's true. Literally the truth on that one. But I could see your family pulling this off. If you guys wanted to start the Celona Tavern, or you're murdering people trying to do headshots or whatever, or you start an open mic and then just kill everybody when they come to your basement to perform.
Come on down to Friendship Bar and Grill. Open mic Mondays, and you're getting your head chopped off on Tuesdays.
Someone leaves a Yelp review. Don't eat the chili.
Yeah, that's
The chili will kill you. No, so they're named Kelly.
yeah. It's the Kelly Family Killers.
There's a lot of people in Pennsylvania I know with Kelly. I wonder if they're related.
That's I bet you they. I mean, Kelly is also like Smith in Ireland.
Yeah,
That's a
very-
pretty-
Yeah, it's pretty famous. I actually grew up in a small town called Catasauqua, Pennsylvania. Yes, Larry, near Tamaqua and Hockendaqua. A lot of Native American.
Just down the road a piece.
Yeah, Lenape, and also with you. But no, what's someone on the Yankees? Pat Kelly grew up in my town. He was on the Yankees. I don't know when they won with Derek Jeter. I don't know anything about history or sports. I'm feeling weird.
I'm with you there, man. Whenever they get into sports talks, it's like, shit. Well, there's goes.
Yeah,
That's another dynamic,
Catasauqua,
too.
Pennsylvania's big claim to fame, though, is Pat Kelly.
yeah. Pat Kelly and Mike Celona's "Do Not Call" list now available on iTunes.
There you go. There you go.
What a promotion.
No,
That's a lead-in.
That's a great way for us to land this.
I'm
plane,
actually I'm like a disgraced Catasauquan because I lost a roast battle to the one, the only KP Burke.
Really?
Our roast battle is still up on YouTube if anybody wanted to see it. Mike had
I
some great
can't
jokes
even-
about me.
I can't even go into the bars anymore and axe people at the tavern. Okay,
Axe me. Go ahead, axe me.
if the Kellys were really from Pennsylvania, we should look into like a beer or like a can of chew because there's probably something named after them.
Would not shock me. Now, I also imagine this one. Imagine you stayed at that inn and were not murdered, and you're sitting there like, oof, thank God no one murdered me. And then one of your friends goes, yeah, it's because you're a poor piece of shit.
You weren't worth robbing.
Yeah, that really lowers your. I'm not even good enough to murder. You know?
I got paid in drink tickets tonight. Thank you. But what's crazy is like my parents, they moved a little north in Pennsylvania, so they live near Blue Mountain. It's kind of between the Poconos and the Lehigh Valley, and even still, there's so many like tavern motels, like to this day, and they just look like crack houses. That like I would never stay at. There's literally one on the same street as my parents' house, and I think it's like the Tannersville Motel or something. And you always see two guys out front with spitters and smoking cigarettes.
Just chilling out on the stoop.
Yeah. So you know it's a good time. Are they racist?
It's always been weird to me. I go to Pennsylvania, and then I did a gig with Kevin Israel, and we were out in the western part of Pennsylvania, and it was a bunch of young girls, like really good-looking chicks, and they're sitting there like they were all married with multiple kids already, and they're like, oh, we don't really do much exciting stuff around. We're kind of old ladies, you know. We're not kids anymore. And I was like, oh, how old are you guys? And then, like the one girl was like, I'm 27, and I feel so old. And I was like, yeah, I'm 33, and pretty much, you know, I'm trying to tell dick jokes for a living. So, you know, it's not an exciting, glamorous life over here, you know. But you're also not an old lady. That's kind of Pennsylvania's a different breed out there, sir. It's the only place the Kelly family could come from.
Yeah, every time I perform in Pennsylvania, after the show's always awkward because you're just talking with people, and the moms are always they're like, "This is our night out," and then you like make a joke, and they always slap you, and then pull you in for a hug, and then drunkenly like say weird shit in your ear, and you're like, "This is really awkward." They're like, "Yeah, my husband, like he's not affectionate at all." You're like, "Okay." All right, guys, have a good one.
My marriage is a sham. God
You
damn
coming
it.
to the Cracker Barrel tomorrow? Everyone works at the Cracker Barrel in Pennsylvania.
He's not wrong. So far, everything's been accurate here. That's.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hate doing this part. We got to get out of here because I got to record the other part of the audio on this one, and then I have to go to my last show of my comedy career, which is later tonight with the great Don Jameson and Jim Florentine. We're gonna play Brighton Bar in Long Branch, and then I'm pretty much fired from comedy. I don't have any albums to be falling back on. I don't have a special on Amazon people can watch, Mike. I'm stuck. I got a fucking show where I write podcast term papers with my dad every week.
But hey, I heard someone has a Patreon.
Oh, this guy. See, he is good.
He is good. He is good. He bounced it back in our court.
We do have a Patreon.
And now, for a limited time, you can buy homemade cigar boxes on the
Very limited production run.
Yeah, that's a new tier on our Patreon. If you guys want to jump it up, normally we just ask for $5. That's
Right.
it. But if you jump up to $10, Mike Celona will hand make you with a felt inlay a cigar box for you to then put your phone in while you listen to.
Cigar box not guaranteed.
I want because I love your social media too. I want to do something where you guys throw a question from this episode about the Kelly family, and the winner gets a free copy
I do like that, man. I'm into it.
of this, not the cigar box.
That's yeah, and it's
The cigar box is a cherished memory from your youth.
That means a lot coming from you, Larry.
if only his woodshop teacher had been as inspiring and supportive as you, Dad.
That's it. That's it. Could have changed that boy all around.
Well, this is awesome, man. Mike, I'll wind up calling you later, too, because we'll just talk because we're friends. But we'll figure something out with that. I love that, man. Do me a favor, though, guys, if you're listening to this one, support Mike. He's a great friend of mine, great guy, obviously a hilarious podcast guest, too. He's got content over on YouTube. You can check it out. The special is Calzone Farm on Amazon. The album is the Do Not Call List. Again, still #1 over on iTunes right now, buddy. We'll see if we can't keep that for a little bit. But
And we got
support him.
sketches online, KP.
We do. We have 2 great sketches: Job Site Jesus and Conspiracy Farms. Both both concepts that we were sitting down. I was pitching them to Mike, and he goes, "We can do that one." And Mike took it up a notch, man. I mean, it was the primo shit. Our director, our cameraman, editor, producer, everything. Literally, I just have a dumb idea, and then Mike fixes it for me. So I'm very grateful for our partnership.
It's called "I'm Your Wife." That's all it is. I'm your wife, dude, and I'm here forever.
That's
And I got a cigar box for you.
well, we'll actually have to do cigars here again soon, man. I mean, I'm jetting down to Jacksonville for
know.
a little bit, but I'll be back up in March. We'll figure something out, dude. But
Dude, I keep buying cigars, and then we keep pushing it back, and then my wife's like, "You've been smoking cigars every night." I'm like, "Well, KP's supposed to come out. I mean, I don't know." And then she's like, "But every night," I'm like, "Yeah, he bails a lot." And now I'm addicted to nicotine.
that's you, Joe Fernandez. It was that's a lot of people.
I'm sensing a theme here with the cigar box and cigars, and it's a utilitarian box you got there, bud.
Just a couple guy stuff. You know, I do
yeah.
sports and cigars.
Thank God you didn't call it a jewelry box or a keepsake box. It's a cigar box. It's a manly box.
It is truly a manly
No
box.
way,
but-
bro. I ain't no Stillers fan.
Stillers, Wawa, Hoagie. It's such a fun accent to get lost in. But I'll say this, man. Mike, thank you so much for coming on to the show, brother. I miss you. All right, we'll hang out in person when we can hug each other and just hold one another.
Yeah, definitely.
Mike and I have a show idea we're going to do. I don't want to give away the where we're going to do the show, but when comedy does come back, you and me are going to have a monthly that we talked about, and I'm very excited about the name of it. I want to pitch it to the Kahuna and just tell him real quick, Kahuna. So we'll have someone do the art for it. It's going to be me and Celona, right? And the show every month that we're going to bring great comics. A lot of the guests that have been on this show are going to come here, and we're going to do the show. The show name is going to be Jokeback Mountain.
Oh my god.
And it's just me and Celona as cowboys holding each other.
Are we wearing double denim every show? Yeah.
It's essentially, if we're not wearing double denim, then we're not allowed to do the show. That's per Governor Murphy's new COVID rules.
That first show, we got to get Dustin Chafin.
Oh, without it. Inside baseball, baby. Holy hell, man. So we got to wrap this one up because I actually have to bail myself, man. But, Mike, thank you for coming on to the show. As always, just
Thank
a
you,
fucking
guys.
great guest, dude.
Good
We'll
to
get you in
see
the
you,
studio
man.
here soon. But
Merry Christmas
Have a
to
nice
you and
holiday.
yours. Yep,
Likewise,
absolutely.
man.
Whoa. Happy holidays, you.
Wait a minute now. I thought you said you were Italian. I'm assuming here that you're.
I am.
Of
We're
the Christmas
Catholic. Happy
persuasion.
Merry Christmas. If you're a woman or you don't like Jesus, get out of my country.
I love you, Michael Lewis. Support him out there. We're going to throw some links out on this one. This was very, very fun. That being said,
Thanks.
guys, that was the Kelly Family Killers, American Losers.